We are into February of 2013. I think it's time to talk about what is the overall immigration scenario for various countries across the world. Let's start with Canada, perhaps the most important and most popular immigration destination worldwide. The situation is still very when it comes to Canada, and then I'm talking in the month of February, is still very ambiguous. While a program called Canadian Federal Skilled Worker Program for tradesperson has been announced, there was a lot of excitement because there were 3,000 odd visas that could be issued in that particular category. There was a lot of excitement overall among applicants, among trade professionals. But finally, it came out that the requirements which are involved in deciding whether or not a tradesperson is permitted to work in Canada in the first place, the credential assessment process itself was highly complicated, and as a result of which it is clear now majority of tradesperson who will be successfully making application under Canadian Federal Skills Worker Program for tradesperson are going to be those who are already working in Canada, and it's highly unlikely that those who are outside of Canada will be able to meet the requirements, especially of having positive skill assessment. So the program by itself is a non-starter. The government has announced that May 4th they will reopen the program for federal skilled workers, the most popular program the Canadian government has. But the process has really speaking a key requirement related to credential assessment. Now, what really speaking, the credential assessment is a process whereby your current educational and professional qualifications, their equivalency vis-a-vis Canadian requirements will be looked at, and there will be credential assessment agencies that will review your current credentials and see where they stand in terms of Canadian qualification, and then they will advise where does your current education qualification stand, whether it's undergraduate, whether it's graduate, whether it's postgraduate. So the norms for credential assessment are still to be announced. Since the norms are not announced, the credential assessment agencies are not announced, it means practically speaking, even if one has to file the application for May 4th, as of this moment, nobody is clear whether one will be able to get those, from where does one get those credential assessment requirements meet. So there's a lot of ambiguity on that count. Till such time the credential assessment norms are not announced, the situation will continues to be fluid, it will continues to be ambiguous, and it's highly unlikely that one can think of planning a successful application for federal skilled worker at this stage. Perhaps by March or April things will clarify, and one will be able to advise the clients on the process to be followed. But as we speak right now, there is an element of uncertainty attached to the credential assessment. So again, the federal skill worker process will become clearer only towards March, April, or perhaps more towards May 4th and not before. So let's keep our finger crossed that the federal skill program is not as disappointing as the federal skill worker for tradesperson was, and people outside, the applicants outside of Canada, will be able to file the applications as successfully as those who are inside Canada. So let's just wait and watch on the federal skilled worker program and how it unfolds. For businessmen, the government has announced that Canadian government has announced the startup visa process. It's a startup visa is for entrepreneurs, but then again, it's the way the entire scheme is planned and drafted. Unless you do not have a venture capitalist or partner from Canada who will invest in your business and must be part of your business plan, a person can't really file an application. The startup point in this so-called startup visa will be finding a partner in Canada who is going to invest along with you particular venture that's being planned. Unless you cannot find such a partner, the particular visa application will non-starter. The government has still not announced, while they have indicated the trade bodies that can of private equity partners or otherwise venture capitalists who can effectively be part of such a mandate. It's the overall plan is still not finalized and no clarity. But with time, I'm sure clarity will come, and we should be able to tie up with some of these agencies and try and seek partnerships with such agencies. But again, we need to wait and watch till March or April how this entire scheme plans out, and then we'll be able to advise you to the extent to which we can help you in getting a startup visa for Canada. So this again is a visa. There's a lot of talk about it right now. How it will unfold, the events will unfold, we'll get to know by April 1st or perhaps earlier, but definitely by April 1st. So these three are the key announcements as far as Canada is concerned. The Immigrant Investor Program, they still talk about what's going to happen, what's not going to happen. Mixed kind of news keeps on coming in. As you know, the Immigrant Investor Program was where the net worth was required to be $1.6 million, and one has to give to the Canadian government $800,000 interest free for 5 years, otherwise simply incur a one-time cost of around $200,000 through a financial intermediary and get the permanent resident visa. It is expected that this particular program may be continued, but the net worth requirement may be multiplied many times, and so may be the requirement for the minimum investment. So again, no precise news, but clearly the stakes are going to be much higher, and visa will become very exclusive and for very select few who can really meet the requirement. Let's talk of USA. USA, a lot is happening, and the program that's really taking the world by storm is EB-5 visa program, and its green card program is gaining more and more popularity, and we personally believe that this is a program to watch out for in the year 2013. For sure, there will be more and more high net worth individuals who will be making application under this program. And why not? You're getting a green card for USA, and that's #1 destination, and will always continue #1 destination worldwide. So that's what is happening on US front. In case of Australia, that's the most for skilled workers. That's a great destination to be in. Their norms are clear, qualifying norms are clear. Those who are meeting the eligibility area are getting visas in an as short a time frame as 6 to 9 months time. Last year they initiated the expression of interest process. It's been hugely successful. The immigration agencies are very responsive, and if one is to look at for a skilled professional, IT professional, engineer, accountant, if somebody has to look at it as a sure destination, Australia is the name of the country where they should be looking at, accepting thousands of immigrants, and the country is really doing very well. People who are going there, landing there, are getting actually jobs within 2 to 3 months of landing. They are doing very well. So perhaps you should look at Australia for professionals. Australia is a destination they should be looking at very carefully. UK is more or less closed for majority of skilled professional otherwise, and as is rest of the Europe. New Zealand is open for skilled professionals, but there is always a toss up between Australia and New Zealand. So if one is qualified for Australia, then they say why go to New Zealand, which is a much smaller country with much less opportunity and scope. But I would put it this way: for those who are not qualified for any other destination, New Zealand is a good point to start off with, and at least you get the immigration visa with all the benefits. Make New Zealand your home to start with if you are qualified and not qualified for another country, and then at a later stage, in the first place, New Zealand is a great country to live in. If at all you feel at a later stage that you need to live in a bigger country with more opportunities, you can always make a shift. But New Zealand can be a good starting point for skilled professionals. New Zealand also has a visa called the long-term business visa, which can lead to entrepreneur plus category visa. So that's again a visa that's a good visa for businessmen and entrepreneurs to apply, but you should ideally be having a net worth of at least 1 million New Zealand dollars to be eligible to make an application. That's a likely net worth if you have it, and you are willing to invest $500,000 to $1 million New Zealand dollars in a New Zealand business. I think the long-term business visa is a good visa to be making an application under and becoming a resident of New Zealand. It's another good thing that you could look at. Overall, picture will become more clear over next 3 to 6 months as far as Canada is concerned. Australia is rolling for federal skilled workers. USA is the destination of a businessmen and entrepreneurs, and New Zealand can be a destination where if you're not qualified anywhere else, go for New Zealand and make New Zealand your home. Thank you very much. You can always reach out to me at ajay@abhinav.com, or simply visit our website www.abhinav.com for latest update on all immigration matters. Thank you very much and have a nice day.